I have a very special off-road comparison review for you right now. Right here, I have the new GMC Canyon AT4X. It's already very capable mid-size pickup trucks with 2 lockers front and rear and 33-inch tall tires. But I have something new. This is the first drive of the AT4X AEV edition Canyon. It's brand new for 2024, and it's got bigger tires, more clearance, still dual lockers, and I get to take it on a very challenging trail in Montana. There'll be rocks. There'll be a downed tree that we have to cut down and move out of the way, and there'll be a stuck truck. So come along with me. Let's compare the two and see how they off-road. So I'm starting out in the AT4X. This is the red truck. And this creek crossing is getting gnarlier and gnarlier by the minute, because the more vehicles that go through here, we're in a convoy, the worse it gets. All right, so the AT4X is already a great truck, and it's got dual lockers. It's got 10.7 inches of ground clearance, and I am using a lot of it, all of it, and I'm trying to go easy, nice and easy, nice and easy, nice and easy. Okay, they gave me a great line, so thank you guys. So it's already a super capable vehicle, but of course it can get more capable, and that's what I'm trying to do in this video. I'm trying to, oh, that wasn't that great. In this video I'm trying to compare the standard AT4X versus the AEV edition. The AEV edition is taller, has larger tires, and has way more underbody skid plates than this truck. So will I survive in this one and switch over in the other one? We'll find out. GMC invited me and a few other journalists to this event, and they said, yeah, so we want to showcase our new AEV lineup of vehicles, our pickup trucks, and so we brought AT4X and then AEV versions of those trucks. And I said, great. And then they said, well, we have a moderate trail we want to bring you over. I'm using my rock slider. That's what it's for. I think I'm on my rock slider, right? And but this, as far as like first drive opportunities are concerned, like manufacturer events where they invite some journalists, this is one of the gnarliest trails I have done over the last 10 years. Oh, I used all my brake. I think that was okay. I have like mechanical sympathy, so I really don't like when, no matter what the vehicle is, how protected it is. If it has, you know, 5,000 boron steel skid plates, I still like, I don't want to like scrape anything. So my goal here is not to scrape, and I'll get a chance a little later to actually speak with Dave Harrington, CEO of AEV, American Expedition Vehicles. He started the company 27 years ago approximately, and now he's actually building these trucks with GM at the factory. So this is not at an aftermarket thing. These trucks actually built, the AEV versions of these trucks are built at the factory. But what I'm finding out about this non-AEV truck, it's still capable, but maybe I have to go slower and pick my line a little bit more precisely. They did air down the tires to about 25 psi, so my tire pressures will be about 25 in both trucks. the non-AEV and an AEV truck. Right now I'm inside the AT4X non-AEV edition. This is the red truck that you'll be seeing in this video. And it has many modes, of course. Terrain mode is really the one pedal drive mode, because right now I'm in drive. Take a look. I'm in 4 low, all lockers engaged, and as soon as I let off the gas, the truck comes to a stop, complete stop. So I understand what they're trying to do, and GM is not the only manufacturer that's doing a one pedal driving for off-road. But it's just not how I'm used to drive off-road. You know, sometimes I two-footed, you know, 1 foot on the brake, 1 foot on the gas, or just kind of maintaining momentum. And I wanted to freewheel sometimes. And terrain mode, if I try to freewheel, kind of slows me down. So it's not my most favorite mode, just personally speaking. I love being in off-road mode though, so let me switch that. Off-road mode is where some of the nannies go away. Look, I release the brake slowly and I'm creeping forward. So I'll be using off-road mode for the majority of this drive. All right, so there's the next feature crossing, which is another water crossing. And I'm finding out quickly that even though this truck has really good, from the factory, ground clearance, 10.7 inches of it, like I said, it's still, I have dragged quite a bit here. So I want to see exactly how the other truck behaves, but gaining 1.5 inches doesn't sound like a lot, I mean, on paper, but in practice, when you're picking your line, like I am doing right now, and if it's a difference between hitting a rock and not hitting a rock, that's all the difference in the world, because you really want to avoid damage. I'm crossing water right now, kind of sinking down into it. Oh jeez. Okay, but lockers are king. Really, I mean, yes, you can have a G80, you can have a, you know, mechanically actuated locker, you can have traction control systems, but really when you have a locker, actuated locker, then you know it's on and it's working for you, and it's very predictable, and that's what I love about both of these trucks, front and rear lockers. So I've completed this section of the trail in the AT4X truck, and I gotta say, no matter what happened, I'm impressed. The suspension of this truck, the way the rear shocks are mounted really close to the rear tires, there's still quite a bit of clearance. I was going very slowly just to make sure I got the right line and not damage too much of the underbody of this truck, but it's still going. It's really impressive, and no critical damage, and no tires were damaged. This truck starts at about $55,000. It has 2 options. The sunroof is about $1,000, and also $645 for this beautiful volcanic red paint. And in the end, it's about $58,000 and change. So now let me switch gears. Let me jump into the AEV edition truck, which is kind of a different animal because it's so much higher in the air, and then run over some of these boulders. In this video, I wanted to drive the AT4X first and show you the capability of this truck. It does have rock sliders, but it doesn't have a lot of underbody protection. And the tire, comparatively speaking, is pretty small. This is a Goodyear Wrangler Territory MT, and the size of this tire is 285/70 R17, which is already pretty good. But the big brother of this truck now is this AEV edition pickup. It's got a unique wheel, and this tire is 315/70 R17. So it's almost a 35-inch diameter. It's got a lot of sidewall. It also has a different offset, so the whole truck is a little bit wider, which is why the fender flares here are a little bit different and wider here rather than on this truck. And this AT4X AEV edition is also about 1.5 inches taller, partially due to the tires and also due to an additional suspension lift that GMC did to fit this big tire on this truck. So let's see how this does now. And as I approach this really sharp rock, by the way, Julio is spotting me also on the outside. I'm thankful that I have more ground clearance. 12.2 inches of ground clearance. And let me turn on my cameras. I'm trying to focus on Julio. And I'm also going to engage my lockers as well. This trail just starts right away.
No. Eight-lane freeway.
Well, it's nice to have Julio, you know, just right there on the trail, you know? And I've never been on this trail before. And yeah, it gets rocky really quickly. So it's kind of like a gatekeeper. So if you can't crawl over the first obstacle, then you probably shouldn't keep going. And a lot of it is just picking your line too. So that was the first big obstacle, and I'm looking forward to many more to come. And I'll show you both trucks, obviously, and how they behave over some of these obstacles. This is where the real fun begins. Wind just knocked down this large tree. It was not here the previous day, according to the GM team. Well, we need to cut it down and get it out of the way. The logistics team did not bring a chainsaw, so we have this relatively small sawzall. So after some time, maybe we could cut it down. And while all of us just stand around and watch, this one man will actually handle this tree and move it out of the way. How fun is that? Yes, I'm joking around a little bit, but hey, this is what makes this event adventurous and shows the capability of these relatively small mid-sized trucks on this pretty tight forest trail. Well, Dave, thanks for coming along with me on this drive. So I've had a chance to talk to you on camera twice. First, it was a ZR2 Bison, the original generation.
Okay, yep.
And then I also saw it at SEMA several years ago. But now you introduce, I mean, GMC and you guys are introducing this new 2024 truck, and it's like next level.
Yeah. It's everything we wanted on the first gen and couldn't do for whatever number of reasons, and now this time we got everything that, you know, both the engineers at GM and AEV wanted in the one truck.
Yeah. So your title is the CEO, right?
That's correct.
You're the big cheese at AEV, American Expedition Vehicles. So today's office is really cool because you and I are in the truck and we are negotiating a boulder field in Montana. And Julio from the GM team, he is my spotter. He's very precise.
What's the cowboy hat?
It's the cowboy hat. He got a nickname. His new nickname is Cowboy Julio. He's putting me on the precise path, but I also have cameras everywhere. I'm going into the bush, Julio. There's a tree.
It's okay. It'll buff out.
As long as everybody understands that I was worried about it, and I was told by Julio and team that I should go this way. I just wanted to make that clear. Okay.
You got it on camera.
So there's proof.
Yeah. If you go back to the skid plates on the original Bison, you know, I think they had settled on, we had a meeting, they had said, okay, we want a front bumper and we want a rear bumper and we want skid plates. And by the way, at the end, you know, you have 72 pounds to play with. You can add 72 pounds to the vehicle. And we said, well, at the time, like, we're, you know, just a transmission skid is going to be 100 pounds. You know, it's going to be 1/4 inch steel or 3/16 inch steel, and it's going to be 100 pounds. So that didn't work. And one of our guys knew about boron steel because that's like in all your A pillars, your B pillars, you know, the safety cell of the car has really changed because that's what they use. But at the time, nobody had ever done exposed boron steel. So we had to develop a whole coating process for it. Chemically, it's so hard that it really wouldn't take the coating. So we had to develop that. And we were really the first company to ever use that material. And it turns out, in hindsight, it's really the best material we've ever found for skid.
This looks staged, but it's not. The chase truck that has a snorkel and a winch is actually hung up in this hole. And we actually get to winch it out using the AEV bumper attachment points and a shackle. This is a really cool demonstration of what this bumper was actually meant to do. Serve as an anchor point to get this other truck pulled out. Yes, hopefully we do everything right, put some sort of a weight on this winch line, and get this truck cleared and out of the hole. It was very special to also have Dave Harrington, the CEO of AEV, to ride along with me and tell me about some of the challenges of bringing this to market. I mean, this is totally next level, figuratively and literally, in terms of its suspension height. And whenever I was driving this AEV edition Canyon, I just felt a little bit more at ease. I knew there were massive, strong skid plates underneath. I knew that I still had the rock sliders. I knew I had a little bit better approach, departure, and breakover angles, so I was a little bit more comfortable. Yeah, I mean, if you're doing a lot of off-roading, this is definitely the way to go. And now you're probably wondering about price. I told you in this video that AT4X, that red one, is about $58,000, and it starts around $55,000 before destination charges. Well, we don't have a price on this AEV edition yet. It will be available on sale, they say, at the very end of this year, 2023. But there's other forces at play. There's a current strike. The plant that produces these trucks is currently shut down. So there's a lot of different elements at play here. So I don't have a price on this. They haven't announced the price on this yet. But I do have a price on the Sierra 1500 truck, which is AEV package also. And that price is around $6,900 for AEV edition Sierra 1500. The heavy-duty Sierra AEV edition costs about $10,000 more than a base AT4X. So if I was to guess, this package here could cost between those values about between $7,000 and $10,000. That's just my guess, and we'll find out exact pricing and availability really soon. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time, and check out oldtfl.com for everything automotive in one place.